Coming up, I build a giant hot air balloon to AFK above my mob farm. I also fix my tomato farm, and I build a diesel-powered glow squid farm with my now infinite biodiesel supply. Let's create glow squid, or at least glow squid ink sacs. That's what I need today, but I'm not going to get that from all of the way up here on this AFK spot above my new mob farm. That's right, in the last video, I built this mob farm inside of this hotel, and it has been working incredibly well. In fact, a little too well. If you haven't seen the video, the system works by spawning things, and then they get pushed off these platforms, and they end up down there getting minced to bits. And in the basement below, where they all fall down, I've been collecting a whole bunch of things. From a couple of nights with the AFK, we've got 24,000 nuggets of XP, 50,000 gunpowder, 50,000 bones, nearly 50,000 rotten flesh, 50,000 arrows, and nearly 15,000 string. And the reason we don't get that much string is because this system actually uses saws to kill spiders rather than crushing wheels, because the spiders don't actually fit into the crushing wheels. So occasionally the string drops down there and it goes into the system, and well, 15,000 after a couple of nights is quite a lot. But this isn't everything this system produces. It also produces a whole bunch of bone meal, sticks, sugar, glowstone dust, glass bottles, spider eyes, redstone dust, raw chicken, feathers, ash, and white dye. But the thing it generates the most is backpacks. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 double chests full of backpacks. Just because occasionally the mobs coming down here are wearing them and they get dropped into the system, and then I have to offload them because they just clog up the entire system. So it's all gone incredibly well, and I'm very happy with it all. And getting up to the AFK spot is quite tricky. It actually involves piling up a whole bunch, but I've got an idea for that. And you guys all had a lot of ideas for that as well, because in the last video I was talking about digging out a huge area underground, making a perimeter so that I can AFK below this farm, and that would have led us nicely into what we're doing today. However, actually having the AFK spot up there is a fantastic idea, and disguising it inside of a hot air balloon is even better, so I'm definitely going to be doing that. However, before we do that, I need to do a couple of things with this tomato farm, which is yet again completely forgotten how it should work. Somehow, we've got absolutely no tomatoes here at all. They've just disappeared. My harvesting machine has fallen asleep at this end for no particular reason at all, and it's just been a bit of a disaster because I need that biodiesel. I need that infinite supply, and it's almost like the game's trying to stop me from having it. And the reason I need an infinite supply of biodiesel is to make the blaze burners run super hot. And hopping down here quickly to check out the progress, it's no better than it was last time I checked, which was like 3 days ago. So the main problem with this tomato farm is not the tomatoes themselves, it is this stupid gantry system, which just doesn't work. I mean, at the moment it's back, so it should be giving off a redstone signal, and that redstone signal should be powering this pulse to tell this sequence gear shift to go again, but it hasn't, for no reason. So I'm going to get rid of all of these things. We're not going to have a powered system at all anymore. And I'm going to get rid of this gantry system altogether. And instead of that, I'm going to have some powered rail instead. And instead of using this barrel and this funnel, I'm going to pop down an assembler, throw a bit of casing on there, a storage interface there, and if I get rid of a little bit of this bolt, because we don't need all of this sticking out of here, I can pop another one of those there, put my item drains back down, and with those item drains there, and that funnel there, and that funnel there, that's that system sorted out. And with a little bit more glue, just there, that should be this sorted out. Let's grab a redstone torch, sort that out there. That's going to connect there. That's good. If I get rid of that, that should set that off. Excellent. And now this thing's not going to need any power at all anymore. It should just go along there, and oh, I haven't put a chest on it, so it's not going to pick anything up. Oh, geez. Let's pop that down there again quickly. And then when it comes back, it should lock into position. There we go. And I need to replace that with a barrel. That's better, and now it's actually working. It's transferring the tomatoes. I'm also going to get rid of all of this rope because we don't need it. I'm not using it. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I may have a bit just got rid of all of my tomatoes. And with all of that now replanted, one thing I've noticed while I've been working over here is that every single one of my bees has gone. All of these bee nests are empty, except for honey, and all of my bees have disappeared somewhere. I've no idea where they've gone, so that's a bit of a shame, but not to worry. And as much as I would like to blame the issues I've had with this on the gantry system itself, it's not the gantry, it's the sequence gear shifts. Because it's not just this farm I've had issues with, it's also a whole bunch of other things. Like these little gates at my crossings that are supposed to open and close when the train comes. This side's worked fine, but this side's actually inverted itself and gone into the ground, actually breaking the power system that runs it, which isn't ideal. And another thing that I'm using sequence gear shifts for is these barriers here. And as you can see, this one's up, but it's supposed to be down. And you'll see as this lorry comes out, instead of that going up, it's going to go completely the wrong way. And this is all bizarre because every single one of these is chunk loaded. So there really shouldn't be any issues at all with any of these things. But I had issues like this in my previous areas as well. So it just goes to show that these sequence gear shifts are just a little bit unreliable. So I think wherever I can avoid using sequence gear shifts, I absolutely will. So inside the tomato factory then, I've still got an absolute ton of ethanol, but I've got no plant oil at all. And that's because I turned the seed system off because I actually used all of my wheat seeds to provide the last batch of plant oil, but as you can see they've run out now, so I could really do with a whole bunch more seeds for this, but I ain't got any left. But surely back over at the snowy area there's some seeds in my little foodie place in here somewhere. We must have some seeds at 45, 170 watt. Well, we really don't have many seeds in here either, do we? Okay, then what about at Hill Valley? We got seeds here. We must have a bunch of seeds here. 58,000 seeds. This won't take long at all. There we go. And there we go. That's now on the system. So that means we're going to be producing a whole bunch of plant oil all over again. Oh, we're getting seed oil right now, but we should get plant oil too. And that means we'll start producing biodiesel again. Hurrah! Oh, look, is this system full of tomatoes? It must be. There's over 100,000 bone meal. And, oh, I didn't put an upgrade in there. Oh, that would help. I guess we don't need any bone meal for a while. So with my tomato system all now fixed, and this biodiesel coming in here thick and fast again, we should have all of these layers filled up in no time. Or at least until my next set of seeds runs out. Why don't you put the tomatoes back on the seed thing? Well, I probably will at some point, but this is fine. So a hot air balloon then. It's going to be pretty tricky building all the way up there, but I don't have to build it up there. I can build it down here and then just move it up there once it's done, because create what? Just create. Before I could start building, I needed some concrete, so I went down to my workshop area under the liquid storage building, crafted up a bunch of concrete powder of different colours, and then set the filters of my washer to turn it into concrete. However, this looked like it was going to be pretty slow, so I decided to build a much bigger washer. Using a whole bunch of mechanical fans all around a belt and connecting it to my storage drawers, this certainly looked like it would do the job, but it didn't. An issue I've come across before: the bottom fans underneath the belt for some reason prevent the concrete from being processed. So I got rid of those and got the system working, but by then the original washer had pretty much finished anyway, so I collected all of the concrete and prepared to build. Starting with the basket below, built with a variation of spruce wood planks and frame blocks, I wanted this to be large enough to accommodate a warp plate that I'd be using to get up and down from the balloon, as well as space to block myself in from potential phantoms that would inevitably spawn while I was AFK. With a bit of rope for decoration, a gas bottle and some plating for the roof, it was time to start on the balloon, which I chose to build mainly from framed blocks, going upwards in circles with increasing diameters until I got the shape that I was looking for. And yes, I know I could hold the concrete in my offhand and have it automatically texture the frame blocks as I placed them, but I didn't know exactly how the design would work with the shape of the balloon until it was in place. So at the top of the balloon I added more circles, reducing in size more quickly to give that overall balloon shape, and with all of those in place, it was time to add some texture. So there it is, and it's turned out way bigger than I intended as usual, but I really like it. I like the pattern, I like the shape, and I like the little basket we've got at the bottom, and we've even got a little plate on here that I can stand on to get teleported inside of the mob hotel, and then I can stand on that one and get teleported back again. So when this thing is up there, I'll be able to get in it very easily. And I used frame blocks for the entire thing, and the reason I've done that is because in future, if I want more of these, or maybe I just want a few of them dotted around this area, I can use the schematic cannon to clone it and then just texture it however I want so they all look different. That said, texturing that has been an absolute nightmare, and believe it or not, took almost 2 hours, so I don't think I'm going to be cloning any in a hurry. The other thing I've done, although I can barely even fly up here to show you, is to put a few lights on top of it, just because I did get a creeper up here while I was building it. And now what I need to do is turn it into a contraption so that I can actually move it. Now, you can't glue rope, which is going to be a problem, so I'm going to have to put all of that back on when I get back up to the top. And things have to be connected, so I'm going to have to go throw in a whole bunch of dirt in here to actually connect all of this stuff together. And everything, I think now, except for the rope, should be just about connected. So let's get this in the middle. One of those there, one of those there with lock rotation, and one of those there. And if I do that, well, it's gone invisible. Hopefully I haven't just deleted all of that, because then I will be very sad. Oh, no, it's there. Oh. Well, there's a few bits missing, and it didn't take my warp plate, but that's fine. So now I've got to put it up there. Oh, geez. And hopefully, fingers crossed. Oh, it's back. Ah, I've fallen off though. Oh, my warp plate's not in. No, stop. So it looks like I just need to get rid of a few of these blocks and put down a bit of rope. And as you can see on the inside, there's a whole bunch of frame blocks that I can reclaim, bit that I haven't used. And with these last couple of blocks, that's all of the frame blocks gone. Oh no, there's one there. And I'm hoping it's going to be light enough here that mobs don't spawn. I guess I need to turn off my gamma mod, and it's very dark at the top. There shouldn't be any spawnable spaces, I don't think. But just in case, let's chuck another couple of zinc lamps around the top here. There we go, that's better, that's nice and light. So now I just need to put the rope back on. And I'm wondering if I can actually set fire to the top of this gas bottle, which is a fluid tank apparently. Yes, I can. That might look good. However, I think it might look even better if I pop a vent block there and put the fire there. Yeah, that looks a bit better. Now I just need to do the rope down here, which attaches to these. Bit in the middle there, a bit in the middle there. Get rid of this dirt, and then just a little bit around the outside. And obviously we don't want this blowing away in the wind, so I think having even more rope going all the way down to the hotel as a tether might be a good idea. And the advantage of this big long rope that we've got down here is that if my teleporter breaks, I can actually climb up it. And there we go, all of the dirt is now broken, all of the rope is in place, and that means that my hot air balloon looks rather fancy all the way up there. I like it. And there we go. I don't know if I really like the rope hanging down from there. I guess it makes sense, but it looks a bit weird. I do like the hot air balloon. So let's hop back into the mob farm, hop onto my teleporter, and boom, there we go. I am now in my AFK spot. But there's a problem, as usual. I'm sure you can guess what it is, and that's right, phantoms. They're going to be able to get me quite easily up here, and I did even consider turning it into a phantom farm, although I don't think that will be particularly easy to do with this design. What we could do is actually move the teleporter inside the balloon, and we could AFK in the balloon. The problem with that is we'd then be too high above the mob spawner for the mobs to... Oh, jeez. We'll just put up some phantom protection. Now it's one of those incredibly fancy hot air balloons with the little glass cabin on it. I'm sure you've all seen those before. They're very expensive. You probably haven't. Glass is too heavy. Wouldn't be able to float. It's just a game, guys. Not real. There we go. Lovely. There we are. We're back inside. Yes, I feel much safer from the phantoms now. That should be good. And with a little bit of cheesy free cam, there I am in my hot air balloon, way above my hotel. And hopefully all of the mobs are spawning again. Yeah, there are definitely a whole bunch of mobs spawning. But guess what? My gantry-based system has totally stopped for no particular reason. The power is going, but it's given... Oh my goodness. These gantries! So, okay, fine. I'll go fix it. No, thank you. No, no. Oh, no! No, no, no! I knew that was gonna... Oh, jeez. Well, after a lot of pain and hard work, it's actually finally going again, and that should mean that if we go back to our AFK platform, we might actually get some mobs in here. Fingers crossed. Don't break again, please. Stupid sequence gear shifts. All the mobs are coming now. Here we go. Let's watch the next wave come along. There we go. A whole bunch of mobs there. Oh, wonderful. How's this all doing down here? This is all going okay. Fantastic. That all seems to be working. Jeez, rather well. But it's not time for AFK right now. Right now, it's time to crack on with what we're supposed to be doing this episode, and that is all to do with Squid Ink and fixing up the hotel. I do need to fix up the rest of this hotel. I mean, I haven't done anything round the back at all yet. I haven't done the tree thing that I said I would do in the last episode, and all of this area out the front looks a total mess, but that can wait for a little while. So squid, or glow squid. Squid need rivers or oceans, and glow squid need underground, and I don't know which one's going to be easier. You see, zooming out of the map, there really aren't that many rivers around this area. We've got one over in this direction, not too far away, just down there, which isn't miles from our platform, so we could potentially make a little squid farm down here, but squid will only spawn between Y levels of 50 and 63, and whilst these guys are demonstrating that that's absolutely possible in this area has a massive amount of underground caves with water in. That's not that much of an issue for squid, because squid won't spawn with blocks above their head. They need the open air, which makes me wonder how on earth did those ones spawn down there. I guess they probably... Is that a turtle? And there's a drown. But there's a... I need it. Where did it go? Stop it, drown. You might kill the turtle. Turtle, come here. There he is. Is that a terrapin? It is. Oh, you're mine. Come with me. I don't get distracted easily. Oh, that could be a problem for my mob farm. I didn't think about lighting up the windowsills. Okay, well, we'll get to that later. Right now, my little terrapin-y friend needs to go up in my airship. but then he'll walk on that and he'll get stuck. So, look at that. You're enjoying it up in this hot air balloon, aren't you? Yes, look, well, your tail's wagging and everything. Oh, what a good terrapin you are. Right, anyway, this little area down here might not actually be all that bad for a squid farm because we can quite easily cover up what isn't already covered up with these caves. What is that? A catfish. I can pick up a catfish. I decided I don't need the catfish though. You can go back in there. There you go. So yeah, squid farm shouldn't be a problem at all. Should be nice and easy down here. But the problem with it is it's right down here. And whilst that isn't a million miles away from where we're currently working, it's not really somewhere I had in mind to do any work. And in order to make it look nice and decorated and stuff would mean an awful lot of terraforming down there and building and all that sort of stuff. So I'm not 100% sure I want to do that. So the other option then is glow squid. And unlike squid, glow squid need to spawn deep underground in complete darkness below Y level 30. So I could dig a massive hole somewhere and fill it with water below Y level 30 and get glow squid to spawn and then, you know, worry about a perimeter around that to make sure there's no other areas of water below that level in the area. And that shouldn't be too difficult either, but I've already got one. Over here at the liquid storage center, hopping down to check on the biodiesel once more. Wow, this is getting deep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 layers, and we're working on the 10th one. Oh, this is wonderful. But I'm not here to look at biodiesel. In fact, I want to go down even further, all the way to my mine, which is going to take a substantially long time. Substantially? Yes, a substantially long time, eventually. And the reason it takes such a long time to get all the way down here is because I got all that space up there where glow squid could spawn. Now, they're not going to spawn down here, just like nothing else spawns down here, and that's because this is deep dark. But up there, if we don't have to go up too far to get out of the deep dark, and then we just become in this deep underground area here. Now, I don't know if deep underground is good for glow squid, but there's one way to find out. Lovely platform. You see, glow squid don't need blocks of water above them to spawn or below them. They'll quite happily spawn in flowing water, as long as the biome's right and you're at the right Y level. But I'm not seeing any glow squids. I'm seeing a zombie and an enderman though. That's not what I want. Oh, there we go. I was going to say we should add a bit more water, but there we go. Glow squid have spawned in the deep underground just here. Proof! Right, now before we have any more problems, I'm just going to go spam a whole bunch of torches around this place, which will stop the glow squid from spawning, but that's fine for now. We don't need them right now. They're just going to happily just drown to death at the side of that bit of water there. Good job, well done. And the reason I want this spawn proof in is because I need to use that cheesy free cam again. Because what we need to make sure of is that there aren't any water caves in a big old area around this at this sort of level. Oh, it looks like we've got one up there, but that's probably, yeah, that's too high for glow squid to spawn in, so that's good. And any running water, even just like this, can also be a problem because as you can see, look, there's squid ink just next to that, which means glow squid have spawned there. So doing a farm at this level here would mean I've got a whole bunch of work to do to sort the perimeter out, but it's nowhere near as bad as it would be for a mob farm, because all I've got to do is get rid of the water. So we need our elevator to come down here first, and then we need to figure out how exactly we're going to make a glow squid farm. And I've got an idea. But elevator first. And now that the elevator's all fully working, all I need is a little platform around the edge so that we've got something to walk along, a little bit like we've got on the other floors, and then we can figure out how we're going to make this farm work. And with this last little bit of railing in here like this, that's the entire thing surrounded by railing. I've put some lights on, and that might not be ever so clever with these glow squid, because don't forget, glow squid need complete darkness to spawn in. So I guess I'll have to cover this with tinted glass. So now I need to figure out exactly how we're going to get these glow squid to spawn in here and how we're going to deal with them. Now, because glow squid will spawn in one layer of water with air above it and below it, we could potentially just have one layer of water in here with a bunch of fence gates or signs holding it all up, and then just a minecart track underneath with a minecart hopper picking all of the ink sacks up as they suffocate to death. And that would be a really easy way of doing this. However, that's not very creative, is it? So instead, I'm thinking we fill this up with 4 layers of water and have a big old contraption with many deadly saws on it. Yes, it's not the most efficient way to kill mobs because you get no looting on it, but it's fine. We don't need that much glow squid. And with a big old wall of saws like this, running about on a contraption backwards and forwards, that will just slice up the glow squid. All of the contents will be contained in a barrel or something attached to it. It it won't use any power because it'll be on a rail, and we can just send those items maybe up to this level here to be collected. Speaking of, if I want to actually have somewhere to store these items, I'm probably going to need a slightly wider walkway here, so I think I'm going to bring this out another maybe 2 or 3 blocks this direction, and then we can put a vault on there. So I think the best type of container we could have for this area are going to be black ones, because this is a glow squid farm, which are bright blue. But it's dark down here. This is the dark mine area, so we're going to have a nice big old dark container there ready for that glow squid. And now we just need to get the items from down there into there once this contraption is made. And the easiest way to do that would probably be with chutes and a fan to push things up. But the problem here is I don't actually have any power down here. We've got a little bit of power that we're using for the elevator doors, but I don't really want to use that for contraptions and things. With this being a watery farm, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to have a water wheel in it. Now, one thing we can do with water wheels is to actually colour them in, and I think that makes it look a whole lot more glow squiddy, and it kind of goes with the gold as well. And I do kind of like that blue, but what about dark oak? No, that doesn't really go. To be fair, I do think the original... Did that just take on the texture of the block? Whoa, no, I can have it any texture. What? I didn't know this. I just thought you could change it different colors with different wood types. Can I have it mixed oak log? No, can't use log, just planks. Okay, what about that? That's very spotty. What about that? That looks kind of cool. I'm just not sure I like the color. Diamond warped planks. What about that? No, it's very glow squiddy though. Warped planks? That's kind of good. I kind of like that, although it's quite bright. Warped plank shavings. No, I didn't like that one. We've just gone to default now, I guess. Stacked warped planks. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. Anyway, I'm getting very carried away with water wheels and things like that when I don't even have a contraption or any water in place. So what I need to do is get this contraption built so that it becomes a contraption and not a block, and that means that, and then I can put a wall along here and keep this little lane separate from the water to stop, well, it getting wet, I suppose, and ruining my rail. And then we can fill this entire thing in with water. Sad news, peeps. Just come up to the hot air balloon so I can do a little bit of AFK while I'm going to be busy in real life for a few minutes, and unfortunately my little terrapin has despawned. This is sad news indeed. Totally ruined my AFK vibes, man. And after a couple more hours worth of AFK, we got a whole bunch more stuff and a whole bunch more backpacks. So without further ado, let's get this glow squid farm sorted out, shall we? But not without checking on our biodiesel, of course. Which is there. It's finished. We now have an infinite supply of biodiesel. That went fast. Gee, I really didn't expect that. So does this say now that it's an infinite supply? It does. So I need to wind that all the way down to the bottom. And I guess now I can stop all of those tomatoes from being produced. Oh, I can't believe it, finally. So the first thing we can do is prevent this thing from bouncing backwards and forwards and, you know, taking up a little bit of lag. Not that it causes much at all. And then inside the building, well, wow, we're completely full on all of these things. And we've still got a whole bunch of seeds left. And it looks like we've still got, 7,000 tomatoes and 109,000 bone meals. Wow. And we can disconnect all of these pipes now. We don't need those anymore. Although I will keep them there just in case we have problems in future. And I'm going to turn the power off to all of the farms just by disconnecting that. Now, I'm not going to demolish everything to save the resources because you never know, we might need to produce more in the future. We're just going to leave it turned off for a bit and see how we get on. Right, glow squid farm. Have we got any glow squids? No, because I haven't finished it yet. Oh, man. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is lay down a whole bunch of powered rail against this wall here all the way down to the other end. So first I'm going to put an item interface there and one directly opposite it there with 4 item drains coming along here like this, and then we're going to have some chutes going up here like that to connect with the bottom of our container. Then all we need is a brass funnel on there facing outwards and another one on there facing inwards, and then underneath that we're going to need a fan facing upwards, and then we need to get power from that water wheel to that fan, which means coming through these item drains. Smashing through that wall, I can put encased chain drive down there like that and bring that down to that point there, and then I can just connect that to there like that, and hopefully that'll go the right way. It'll all depend on what way the water wheel spins. Now, I'm not sure if I do, but I might need a block on top of that chute to stop the items coming out the top so that they go up diagonally, and that should be about it for that. So now we just need to turn this into a contraption. So let's extend the powered rail there, pop one of those on it, but ideally face it in the other direction, and set that to lock rotation. And then I guess we just want a little bit of andesite casing like that to connect that together, a minecart under there, and then just a bunch of glue. So hopefully if I power that, the entire thing is now a contraption. Oh, there we go. And that's going to move to there because I need to power the rest of the powered rail. And I needed it to be a contraption before we do anything else because I want to put a wall in down this line, and I can place it through these blocks because now it's a contraption. And because I want to see what's going on through that, I'm going to make this wall out of tinted glass, and I'm just going to bring this along here like this. all the way to the end. I'm going to put another wall of tinted glass down the other side. And I need to get rid of all of these torches down here, even though they're not going to affect anything, just because they look a bit ugly. And instead, I'm going to put a whole bunch of these zinc lamps across the top, because I'm hoping this will actually allow us to see into the glow squid tank a bit better without affecting their spawning. And I kind of want to do that all the way around this thing. So let's build another wall. All the way to there, and now that should all be powered the whole way down. So if I give that a nudge, yep, the entire thing's going to go all the way there, and it's going to come all the way back, and then it'll come all the way back again. Excellent, that's all working nicely. But if I got walls over there and over there, I should probably have one here as well and stop this coming back quite so far, in which case I'll have to fiddle with that a bit, but that should be fine. And I'm not going to start this going again yet, because I want to fill this with water, and I don't want it to slice me to bits while I'm doing it. Now I could go round with buckets, painstakingly doing this all the way round and fill it up that way. Well, that's going to take ages. So instead, what I'm going to do is steal a little bit of power from the elevator. It should just be through here. There it is. And then just throw a hose pulley in. A little bit of chain drive there, spin that round a bit, pop a cog on there, that's going to get that pump going. Throw a crank on there and I guess wind it down a block. Now I just need an unlimited water source above this. Bucket there, and off we go. We're producing slime. Well, I didn't expect that. But that should hopefully now be filling this thing in, and it might take a little while, but that's fine. Oh, look, we've got glow squid already. Oh, we might as well get the machine going then. Oh, and skeletons. Yeah, we don't want those. Now, hopefully, yep, the glow squid got minced, but their ink sacs are down there, which is slightly concerning. Why didn't their ink sacs make it into there? And the zombie stuff's on the floor as well. Huh, well, that's weird. Have I made a boo-boo with this design? Quite possibly. So while this thing continues to go round and mince all of these glow squid to, wow, that's a lot of glow squid, and fail to pick up all it, but it's not picking the items up, which is very concerning. But it's 100% working. Look at all of those. So many of them. Jeez. Why are you not picking it up though? It's your job. So I put some items in the barrel, and weirdly, it's not actually transferring the items out of there either. So I'm wondering if it's just confused and it doesn't realize it's actually got a barrel on here, because they should be going out of there. It's definitely connecting. So what's the problem? Well, a little while later, I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. The good news is the entire thing's now filled up. The bad news is this thing doesn't seem to work with saws, at least as a minecart contraption. The other good news is this water wheel's now going. It's also got a speed controller behind it, which means the offloading system now works. All of the glow ink goes into the container. We've just got to figure this out. And you know what it means, don't you? I've got to use gantry again. Oh, jeez. Okay, I've added some redstone contacts on there. We've got one behind the wall and we've got one over that side. I've also put on a gear shift here so that we can change the direction based on the redstone signal. And we're probably going to need pulse emitters and that sort of thing to make sure that's all going to work. But before I do any of that, I'm going to need power. And I don't know if this water wheel's going to cut it. Could it just need to power it? No, yeah, that's basically what yeah, okay. So if I throw on a gearbox there, and then a bit of shaft there and there. Oh, okay, it's enough to power the system. Oh, that one little water wheel can do that entire gantry shaft and the and the fan for the chutes. That's good. If I got myself a lever and then just inverted that gear shift, the entire thing's gonna go across and hopefully kill all of those squids. Now it's gonna go there. Let's flip it back again so it can come back, and let's see if there's anything in the barrel. There is not, and there are items just on what? I guess the issue is not the contraption, it's the fact that we're using saws to kill them, which apparently then don't actually bother to collect the items because it's expecting wood and not glow squid ink. And that looks like it's going to end up being quite the substantial problem for me, because this entire design is based on saws. Now I could replace every single one of those with deployers and put them in punch mode or sword mode in order to do that, and that would work, but that's an awful lot of deployers. So I think I might have to go back to the drawing board and come up with a new plan. Well, I've spent a whole bunch of time thinking about this, and I think I've come up with a reasonable solution, and that is to go back to using these saws, because the saws do inflict damage. The problem is then getting the items out of here, which I'm going to use these fans for. These fans are going to blow the items across to this side, and then we're going to have some sort of collection system here to grab them. And yes, my voice is scratchy because I'm not very well. Poor FoxyNoTail. And you might notice at the side here I have a pipe going all the way up there, because we're going to power this with diesel. And I'm pretty sure I've got all of the pumps in the right place to make sure that that'll flow down here. But in order to get it flowing, we're going to need power to make it flow. Anyway, let's hop up to the next level and go and check it out. So up here in the diesel tank, as you can see at the back of the room over here, I've got another one of these hose pulleys. I've put a little bit of girder above it and a bracket on to make it not look too awful. And that's all the way down at the bottom of there, and that should hopefully give us a bottomless supply. But I won't know until we've got power on there. And this just comes straight into here and all the way down like you've just seen. So let's hop back down again and let's see if I'm actually strong enough to wind this down and see if we can get some diesel into this diesel generator. No, I'm not. In that case, let's see if we can get this powered with a temporary water wheel. I don't think that's going to give us enough power either. No, yeah, that's actually turning very slowly. But that might just about be enough to get us some biodiesel down this pipe. Oh, and I think I can hear the sound of a diesel generator. I can. It's a horrible sound, but it is going. We have diesel power. And there we go. We've got 6 of those in there now. And if we make a bunch of silencers, we can shut them up a bit so they're not too loud. And there we go. That's all nice and encased all the way up to the top now. This is all going nicely now, and we've got 12,000 SU available to us. And now let's see if this is powerful enough to power our fans. Your voice sounds horrible. I know, the throat really hurts, mate. It's horrible. Not very nice at all. So we want a vertical gearbox there and a bit of one of those there, and it's not overstressed, so that's good. It is blowing the wrong way and it's nowhere near powerful enough. So we need a speed controller. 128 we can get out of it, but that's still blowing the wrong way and not going far enough. Can we get 160? We can. Can we get 200? We can. How far does that blow? Oh, that blows a long way, but not quite far enough, which means I need more diesel engines. Another 3 of those, and that means I can have another 3 of those. There we go. 3 more modular diesel engines. Okay, we're now providing 18,000 SU. So if I connect that to that, we should be good to go. And now we're blowing all the way to here, which is still not all the way across. So all we need to do then is get this actually blowing all the way over to this edge and come up with some sort of collection system. So the solution to my problem was to just move the wall out a couple of blocks so that it matches that one, which now means the fans can blow all the way across. The glow squid now gets pushed all the way to there. It then comes all of the way down here. It comes along here, goes down there, goes into that funnel, goes across those drains and goes up that chute and into there. And now we've got 183 of them. Perfect. So the only thing left for this farm is to figure out a good AFK spot and to make it dark, because it's very light in here. Now, turning off my gamma mod, it's not quite as dark as it seems, but it's still not dark enough. And for that, I'm going to need a whole bunch more tinted glass. Now I just want a line of tinted glass along here like this, and then I can use my magic wand to fill in the rest. There we go. Very dark and instantly glow squid. And I probably want to be around about this point here for a good AFK spot from these guys. And there we go. A whole bunch of them spawn in. Oh, one down there going in me shoe. Oh, mate. Oh, even more of them spawn in. Oh, this is good. Get squished, guys. More of them spawn. Oh, geez. This is... yeah, they spawn pretty fast now. As soon as they die, more appear. That's amazing. I haven't even done any perimeter work yet. There we go. I've already got 314. The whole system is working. It's working well. So I think a little bit of AFK is called for, and then we'll see how we get on after a couple of nights over here. If you're enjoying this video, then consider hitting that subscribe button. It only takes a second and it really helps me out.